Hey everyone, so today we're diving into a story a lot of us probably think we know, the one about the 10 lepers. And yeah, we usually hear it as a simple lesson on the importance of saying thank you. But honestly, if that's all we take away, we are missing the entire world-changing point. There is so much more going on beneath the surface here.
This is really the question at the heart of the whole story. You see, this isn't just about good manners. It's about the huge difference between getting a temporary fix you asked for and receiving a permanent transformation you never even knew was possible. We're going to look at the geography, the culture, and even a single Greek word to see what's really happening.
Okay, so first things first. To really get this encounter, you have to understand the map. Because where this story happens is every bit as important as what happens. Now, this isn't just some random travel note. The border between Samaria and Galilee, that was a line in the sand. It was a place of deep historical hatred, a literal and symbolic wall between two groups of people who absolutely despised each other.
So, look, if you were up in Galilee and needed to get down to Jerusalem for a festival, the quickest, most direct route was obvious, right? Just a straight shot right through the middle of Samaria. Easy.
Well, not so fast. A devout Jewish person would never do that. They would actually go way out of their way, we're talking a much longer, harder journey, just to avoid setting one foot on what they considered impure, contaminated Samaritan soil. And you have to understand, this division was incredibly deep. We're talking centuries of mutual resentment that had just hardened over time. The Jews saw the Samaritans as half-breeds, sellouts who had corrupted the true faith. And the Samaritans, they saw the Jews as arrogant and hostile. This wasn't a minor disagreement, it was baked-in cultural hatred.
So what Jesus does is fascinating. He doesn't take the long way around, but he also doesn't cut right through the middle. The text says he walks along the border, this strange, messy, in-between space that didn't really belong to anyone. And that is exactly where he finds them.
You see, the borderlands are where the outcasts end up, the people who are rejected by both sides. And in this place of shared suffering, something incredible happens. Those old divisions, Jew versus Samaritan, they start to melt away. Their shared pain becomes a great equalizer. A common enemy, leprosy, has made these former enemies into a desperate, united community.
So from a distance, this mixed group of 10 lepers cries out. But listen carefully to the word they use. They call him Master, not Lord, not Messiah, Master. It's a title of respect. Sure, kind of like calling someone teacher or boss. They've heard about this guy, and they're asking for help. It's a request.
Now, Jesus' response here is kind of weird. He doesn't walk over and touch them. He doesn't say some magic words like, be healed. Instead, he gives them a command. And this command is a massive test of their faith.
He tells them to go show themselves to the priests. Okay, so under Jewish law, priests were basically the public health inspectors. Only a priest could officially examine someone who'd had leprosy and declare them clean, which was their ticket back into society. So Jesus is literally telling them to go back to the very system that kicked them out in the first place.
And get this is the crucial part. They weren't healed and then they went. No, the miracle happened as they were going. As they were walking in obedience to a command that made zero logical sense while they were still covered in sores. It was just a raw act of faith.
Can you just imagine that scene for a second? 10 men running, probably screaming with joy, watching their skin clear up right before their eyes, feeling strength flow back into their limbs. They are all heading straight for the priest to get their official all clear. But then, one of them stops. He just stops dead in his tracks.
Just one. Out of 10 men who just experienced the impossible, only a single one interrupts that mad dash back to his old life. He turns around.
And here it is, the big shock of the story. The one who comes back is the Samaritan, the total outsider, the guy who, by all religious and cultural logic, should have been the least likely to get what was happening. I mean, the Jewish priests couldn't do anything for him anyway. It wasn't part of their system.
So when this Samaritan returns, he doesn't just say thanks, he falls at Jesus' feet, a posture of total worship in that culture. See the shift? He had cried out to a master for help, but now he's bowing to his Lord in adoration. This is the whole turning point. It's a move from a transaction to a transformation, from respect to reverence.
And this is where Jesus points out the deeper miracle that happened, the one that the other 9 guys completely missed while they were running to the priest.
You can almost feel the sadness in Jesus' voice.
This isn't him being angry about not getting a thank you card. This is pure sorrow over a missed connection. He's grieving that 9 men got the gift, but they walked away from the giver.
The 9 got exactly what they wanted: clear skin and a piece of paper from a priest that said they were acceptable again. They went right back to the system. But the Samaritan, he got something so much bigger. He returned to the source of his healing and found a real relationship. He didn't just get his old life back. He found the very source of life itself.
Now, listen very, very closely to Jesus' final words to the Samaritan. In our English Bibles, it sounds pretty straightforward, but the original Greek word here, it changes everything. The Greek word Jesus uses is sozo. And sozo is this powerful 2-layered word. Yes, on one level, it means to be made well or healed physically. But its primary meaning all through the New Testament is to be saved, to be spiritually rescued and delivered.
And that, right there, is the punchline of the whole story. All 10 of them were physically cleansed of their disease, but only one, the outsider, the Samaritan who came back not just to say thanks, but to worship. He was the one who was made whole, body and soul. His gratitude wasn't what bought his salvation. It was the proof that it had already taken hold.
So that leaves all of us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? In our own lives, when we get what we pray for, are we just running back to the systems of this world, looking for that stamp of approval that says we're okay, that we're clean? Or are we like that 10th leper, turning back to the source, seeking a relationship that doesn't just fix us, but completely transforms us?